Wow, you may be in trouble because my camera found me so boring that it decided to turn me off. So, yeah, you might be in trouble. Um, Anyways, it's also ironic because I was thinking it's like the reason why people tune into this is obviously because, I'm adorable. No, it's because I have a pleasant, relaxing voice when it gets warmed up. So I was like, I said in the previous 10 minutes that my camera shut off on that I should probably warm up my voice instead of just getting on here. You know how when you talk first thing in the morning, when you're an older gentleman, your voice is a little rough. And then, I'm not sure, I'm not going to go as far as to make honey and tea and change my morning ritual for you people. Come on. I mean, good lord. Anyways, um, so I talked for 10 minutes. My voice, maybe it still doesn't feel like it's warmed up. It still feels too deep and raspy. But yeah, I was like, my voice sounded pretty good on the last video I made. And I thought about it and I was like, I guess it's, I'm not charging for this nonsense, but I guess it would be polite if I just sit there and talk to myself. Or maybe do a practice run, for like a half an hour and then talk for an hour or whatever, you know. Uh, I am pretty sure, though, that is my principal appealing is I seem to have a calming or relaxing effect on people. I have been told this in actual life. Uh, because I don't know if it's the voice. I don't know if it's the sense of peace I have with myself. Because I'm cool with myself. I'm a good guy that's had some bad luck. So I'm kind of at peace with myself. So maybe that comes across. I don't know. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's not because I'm so drop dead gorgeous and witty that people tune into this. I was told by one person that, yeah, sometimes they use my voice to go to sleep too. I do the same damn thing. I'm either boring as fuck or have a pleasant voice. I don't know. But right now it doesn't feel too pleasant. It feels kind of raspy. I had a rough night last night. Um, I walked for the first time since the week anniversary of the dude doing whatever he did to my knee. And I did 12 minutes with the cane, and then I started having visions of like falling through the window. Something that I have done before, and I do not recommend falling through a plate glass window. It's not fun. Don't do that. So I started thinking about that, and I was like, I'm really just doing this to work my heart. I mean, yeah, I want to start walking outside again and stuff, but I can get my heart rate up with a walker and not, have shards of glass hanging out of me. So, and I imagine it's images like that that are not particularly relaxing either. But it's happened before. So, um, I did like 12 minutes with the cane, in other words, and 17 minutes or so with a walker. You need 20 minutes of cardio to improve your heart. So I did like almost half an hour and laid down and I was cool. It was like, hey, my knee don't feel too bad. An hour later, I'm popping 3 gabapentin. Then I'm taking a Valium on top of it. Then I'm taking a melatonin on top of that. And then I don't go to sleep until about 6 in the morning. Which my sleep schedule has been screwed ever since that dude was like, does this hurt? Does this hurt? How about this? Man, you're tough to get a response out of. And, just kept pushing my knee further and further and further and further back. And I still don't understand the purpose of that. And I'm not going to ask because, you know, doctors are just difficult people to deal with. They had a lot of them, there's some ones that are humble. Oddly enough, the rapist doctor, very humble guy. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not gonna save him being humble, but from his fate. But you know, it was a quality that I noticed in him. I was like, hey, this guy's not like an arrogant dick like most doctors. Most doctors are arrogant dicks because they got crammed up. They had high pressure lives. You know, they crammed all this knowledge into their head and went to school for so many more years than their patients, which of course makes them vastly superior in intelligence than to we ordinary folks like you and me. So, you know, you ask them a simple question, they get offended. You question their authority, they get offended. You ask them, like, they're also worried about blame. Like, everybody in the world is worried about blame to a degree, but doctors take it to a whole nother level. So if I'm asking the guy, like, I'm just curious, like, why were you testing the range of motion in my knee? You know, I'm not gonna go in there and say you fucked up my knee, dude. Like, why were you doing that? I mean, it's not gonna help me. It's not. I told you I have a Baker's cyst in there and a blood clot. I mean, why did you do that? Was it curious? How do you? He's just gonna get offended and defensive because you're questioning something he did, and they're worried about being blamed, obviously, for hurting patients constantly. And I think it's because they do hurt a lot of us. So, you gotta kind of tap dance around doctors' egos and their fear of malpractice and their not me, I didn't do shit to you type attitudes. It's like, as a matter of fact, when I got CRPS, I wasn't going to sue the guy anyway, which I should have sued the guy because I could, I could be living pretty well right now. But when I didn't sue the guy because the guy couldn't help what happened to me, but I got CRPS as a result of the surgery that he performed. Now, when the next time I saw him, he after I got diagnosed with CRPS, he like what said, as far as the CRPS, you could have actually had that before the surgery. Huh. It's like I'm like an 18-year-old. At that point, I'm like 20 odd years old, 20, 21, somewhere in there. And it was like a follow-up appointment long after the surgery, and I was like, I'm maybe like 40 years younger than you, but yeah, okay, dude. I grew up in a house where blame and fear of saying was kind of important. I know exactly what you're doing. It's like, yeah, if I was going to sue you, I'd just sue you. Whatever you would say to me is not going to convince me not to sue you. So, but really, I could took him to court and said, like, this guy, when he was straightening out my spine, uh, I got uh, a rare disease that occurred after uh, this surgery because he was too aggressive with it, and I told them repeatedly, and I would have witnesses that there was something wrong with me, and they just ignored it. But really, it just was a rare disease. Nobody heard of it at the time. This is pre-internet days. We're talking 1986, and the guy did his best for me. He was like, why do I want to fuck him over just because I can get some money out of him? And what would have happened was, it doesn't matter if it's not his fault. There would be a settlement involved because for some stupid reason, if you get hurt by a professional person, even if it's not their fault, you can still get money out of them. That's the way it works. So I could have got a nice settlement, and it could have been like a really nice settlement because CRPS is an incurable disease. So I could be like a 20-year-old in court if my parents were litigious And I was just like trying to survive at the time and trying to walk and stuff. But my parents were litigious type people, drag me into court, say, you screwed up our son's entire life. He's 20 years old, and now he has an incurable disease after the surgery that you performed on him. And I would have my lawyer talk to the medical guy's lawyer, and they would be like, "Look, man, we don't want to take this to court," And my lawyer would write down a figure, slide the paper over, and I'm sure it would be in the six figures. So, what's a life worth? Not only what is a life worth, but what is a life worth when you have a pain generating disease that's incurable when you're 20 years old and your life is going to be a living hell. So it's not just that they took your life away, it's like they cast you past the gates of abandon all hope, all ye who enter here type of deal. So I'm pretty sure nigga could have got paid, but never even occurred to me. Never even occurred to me. You know, I was not naive, as to the ways of the world, but as far as blame, like I said, I wasn't naive enough to not sniff out dude's covering his ass. Sniff and ass don't belong in the same sentence. Anyways, um, when he's saying like, well, you could have had this disease, backing away slowly, even before the surgery. When I was cutting on you and pulling parts out of you and performing radical construction on you, and putting screws in your head and doing all that crap. But I know for a fact I woke up after the second, it's a 2 steps procedure. I woke up after they pulled the screws out and everything, and I was like, what the fuck did you people do to my legs? My legs are on fire. That's the neuropathy from CRPS. Did not have that before the surgery. So I know for a fact surgery caused it. It's a trauma related malady. First discovered in the Civil War because of the amount of trauma inflicted upon both the North and the South. You got all these people all shot up and shit, and then they would heal up, and they would still be complaining about pain, and their feet would turn colors, and they would swell, and they were like, "What is going on here?" So the original name for this disease was causalgia. It's had a few names, through the years. It's had 3 different names since I've had it. RSD, RSDS, they added syndrome onto reflex sympathetic dystrophy, reflex sympathetic dystrophy syndrome. And then they switched it all up on us and went with CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome. None of them are accurate in any way. Because it's so weird they can't even come up with a name that matches it. It's an alien thing. It's a pain signal getting trapped inside your body that causes disastrous physical results. So, yeah, good cheery morning to you too. It's not morning here, it's like 3 in the afternoon. I just feel like I just woke up because I'm bombed still from last night. I did wake up at 11 in the morning after going to sleep at 6 in the morning. So, yeah. Anyways, you know the deal. It's like I just do the stream of consciousness thing, have the pleasant voice. Sometimes I'm relaxing. Sometimes I'm funny. I hope. Sometimes I'm just funny looking. It doesn't. Whatever. Not. I'm on here killing time because I can't do a whole lot else, and it's therapy for me. Some people seem to like it. Not very many, but it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I don't like good attention. I don't like bad attention. I don't care. Like I was listening to another guy's thing. I'll give him a plug. I like giving people plugs. The guy's name is Garrett Bush. He's a sports guy, but he's local to Cleveland, so y'all probably don't give a fuck about him. Anyways, he was saying like because he was talking about the process of gaining any foothold on YouTube, and he was talking about people being discouraged because you start out and you only have like 50 viewers, and I'm like 50. I got 118 views because I put live sex shows in the title because I was talking about some sleazy thing that went down as part of a story, you know. But I'm sure like people like, no, there's nothing dirty here. Probably a bunch of teenagers was like, yeah, if there's a live sex show involving that old fuck, I'll pass. Because I don't know if like I don't know how that would work, but they have some videos that like have like mature content. This may be offensive or upsetting to viewers or whatever. I don't know if they have parental blocks they can put on YouTube. I mean, sometimes you can see tits and ass on YouTube or like uncensored movies on YouTube and stuff like that. But the kids got the internet now, so you know maybe there's some kids fishing around for whack material on the internet or to see something. I mean, I don't know. But anyways, that's it's just funny that I put live sex shows in the video. Yeah, like um, what would that be? At least quadrupled, quintupled, sextupled, sextupled. I'm pretty sure that means 7 times. It's 6 or 7. I don't know. I'm sleepy. Uh, the views, but it would. Yeah, I sextupled my views by putting live sex shows in the title. But yeah, I'm not. I don't care about viewership or anything like that, or really what anybody thinks about me. It's not so much like I'm at the old don't give a fuck stage because I'm fairly polite, and I don't. I'm nice to people, generally speaking. I have a couple of videos on here where this guy was just such a dick to me that I actually made a video especially addressing the fact that you have to be careful on the internet about interacting with people when you are in benzo withdrawal. Because, yeah, there's some bad people, so, this guy was taking, um, I think 2 milligrams of Xanax a day, and he was thinking about quitting. He's a former alcoholic, and, you know, he got upset with me because I don't allow people to tell me what to do. Like I told that doctor, he's like, I'm not going to try to make you do anything you don't want to do. And I was like, looked him in the eye, I was like, you couldn't anyway. So I don't want people telling me what to do. And this guy, he's like, well, you're not, I didn't take his advice. I wasn't listening to him. Oh, man, fuck you. And I didn't say fuck you. I just, in so many words. So, nice to the guy. I assume he's still taking his 2 milligrams of Xanax a day. I'm like, he's giving me advice on withdrawal when he hasn't even tried it yet. Man, come on. Come on. So I did make a video, especially for him wearing a flannel shirt. He got a lot of views. Don't remember what it was called, but it was something like the danger of making videos while in benzo withdrawal. And I roasted him pretty good, but you know, I felt like the guy deserved it. But what I was saying is, I'm usually actually pretty nice. Uh, I, It's not that. In other words, I don't give a fuck, but I'm polite. You know, I don't care what anybody thinks about me. It's like I know people get to a certain age, they get to be, more like answer the door with the bathrobe open. Don't get the mail in your underwear type. Don't give a fuck. But my don't give a fuck is more has to do with like I have CRPS. I am completely different than you. I don't necessarily want to be, but I have a completely different nervous system. I'm living in a completely different world than you because as I've said before, your nervous system paints a picture of the world for you. I'm pretty sure that I am not on fire right now, but that is the circumstance that my nervous system is painting for me right now. So, yeah, I'm not on fire. But to be honest, like, I have burned myself before and not known it, speaking of fire. Uh, when I had that blister on my leg, which I need to change the band-aid on that. I think I assume it's a lesion. And by the way, those things hurt. You want to talk about pain? That hurts when your skin disappears. That hurts. Just so you know, in case you were wondering. And it doesn't. It hurts. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to look about it. You don't have to think about it. Those things hurt. It's hurting right now. It's going to be hurting when I wake up tomorrow. It's a small one too. Anyways, I thought that maybe I burned myself because like my body don't tell me what the hell's going on. I assume if you burn yourself with a second degree burn on your leg, you're gonna know it. But I might not know it. I mean, I've done that before. Like I had a hot plate of food or something, and I set it on my leg, and then I burned my leg. And it's like my legs are burning all the time anyway. So I just thought my neuropathy was especially bad that day. And then change shorts and I look and I'm like, oh fuck, I burned myself. That's the kind of life I lead. That's why I don't really give a fuck what people say or think about me because I am an alien from the planet Ozrak uh, in the nebula galaxy called Pain. So, anyways, yeah. I was going to talk about my mug, because coffee cups are a very fascinating subject. But and speaking of hot things that you could possibly burn yourself with, but as you probably noticed, I don't have a handle on this. I never have a handle on mugs because I drop them, I fall. If I fall, I'm throwing my coffee cup away from me, obviously. Ugh. You know, you don't want to fall on a coffee cup. You don't want to splash yourself with hot coffee. You throw it away from you. So, you hit the handle and the handle breaks. But man, this one was a trooper. It lasted through many, many falls. At least 2 dozen. Not falls, but where I fell, but where it fell. It lasted through like 2 dozen before that handle broke. So I bought a new coffee mug. I got a tracking number for it, but no information on when it's supposed to be here. Or usually, like the way eBay works, that's where I buy most of my stuff. Because as far as the computer is concerned, I stick to certain routines. I do not want anybody stealing my information, which has happened to so many people I know. So I stick to certain routines. I will buy off of Amazon. I will buy off of eBay. I will buy off of this or buy off of that. But I do not, you know, I haven't had any of my information stolen yet. So I don't want to go through that whole horrible process, and I don't want to be taking my money. So I don't know if they gave my mug to the shipping center or not, because the way eBay works is you can print a shipping label like right off the bat, and they'll give you a tracking number, and then you have to take your thing and either give it to your postal worker. I guess you can do that nowadays, or throw it in a government mailbox with that label on it, or take it to the post office. so I don't know. But my cup's pretty cool. My new mug is going to be a cool mug. So I could not find. They don't make that was like a designer mug that the drunk pocket maniac broke, and that I paid $20 for. That he was like, "Oh man, I'll pay you back. I'll replace you." Yeah. I was thinking back to all the stuff that guy got off of me. And I was like, "Oh, I forgot about that." Because I'm a generous cat. I think that's fair to say. So, I gave him my 50-inch big screen TV because he had no TV. Um, I bought him a DVD player for super cheap because he didn't have any internet, cable, anything, so I could watch movies. I think I gave him a couple of movies. I also bought him, I got a deal, a really good deal, on I believe a PlayStation 2 with a bunch of video games. I had forgotten about that, you know. And the last time I heard him, he was knocking at my door saying, "I see you're still being mean to me." Nobody's ever that mean to me. I wish somebody was mean to me and bought me a whole bunch of shit for free and gave me shit for free. No, they give me troubles for free, give me attitude for free. They give me knee injuries, and I have to actually pay for those. Technically speaking, I mean, my insurance company is paying for them, but I mean, I don't understand the whole money loop to how that happened, but or how that works as far as like who's paying for the guy hurting my knee, but he hurt my knee, so that wasn't free. I had to pay for that privilege. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking about that the other day. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that kid. Kid, he's a kid to me. He's like 30, but I go by intellect. Ow, Jesus, man, you might want to file your fingernails. Um, but anyways, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that PlayStation thing. I wonder how much that cost. I should look that up on eBay just out of curiosity, how much that cost me. But I was being nice to the guy because I know the guy's past. I know he's a miserable person. I know why he's a miserable person. I know the people he was raised by. He's like, I guess, my second cousin. He's my cousin's son. So, whatever that is. Second cousin, I don't know what the fuck that is. But, yeah, he was like a lot of pain in the ass, drunk, crazy person. Woo-hoo. Yeah. But yeah, he was such a black hole, like I said, that he didn't give me back the poker chips from when we were playing poker. And I just gave him some money, and I said, because he kept the poker chips, and until you give him the money, cash in your chips, right? So I gave him the money, and he never gave me the chips back. Anything that goes, yeah, I told that story before where I had a big coffee mug that I liked, and he stole it. He just like appropriated it, would come out drinking out of it in the morning. I gave him like a cup of coffee in it once, and he just liked it. It's a nice mug. I don't blame him for liking it, but yeah, you kind of kept it. So I was like, I don't want to confront this drunken, stoned idiot over this mug, you know, first thing in the morning, because that's when I would see him. He'd go sit out on the porch first thing in the morning, drinking out of his coffee. Whatever summer that was, I don't know, last summer. Yeah, I think it was, yeah, last summer. Um, so I was like, I got other mugs, whatever, I was like, I got other problems that are a lot bigger than some drunk guy stealing my coffee mug. It's not like I was afraid to confront the guy because I almost broke the guy's arm that one day when push come to shove. I fucked his arm up and hurt him to the point where he was complaining about it, and he was drunk, so he was anesthetized at the time. So I did something or another to his shoulder that wasn't good. Anyways, so I just, like I said, just waited until he left it out there and then just took it back. And I was like, here's my opportunity. You know, he's not here. The mug is there. And if he says shit to me about that mug, I'm like, I don't remember giving you that mug. Yeah, that's what I'll be like. I steal back my own coffee mug off for the guy. Guy's a black hole. So glad he's gone. Hope I never see him again. Yeah. Okay, bug. Please. It's like I don't see him, but I'm seeing him. It's so tiny. Just a tiny little baby gnat, fruit fly, whatever the hell it was. I was like, oh, there he is again. It's almost like a mote floating on my eye, but it's not. Uh, yeah, you. This is great. Okay. Am I going to have to assassinate a bug on camera? Okay, if you land, I'm going to have to kill you. Uh, Go away, I won't kill you. Stop bothering me, making me look cross-eyed. I think I did my trick on camera before, right? Okay. That one that causes me a little pain. I think it showed up. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm getting seasick now watching this bug fly around my head. Yeah, I understand this is the kind of quality nonsense that you all tune in for. So, anyways, yeah. Um, so today, what? Today I wanted to, I got auction set up to go out for 5 days before the football game. I couldn't find the card. The main card that I wanted to sell, I couldn't find it. I don't know where it is. That's not a good thing. I have a lot of cards and I don't remember where I put it. So the guy that paid actually hit what he paid for it was $147 for one card. It was out of a lot of 42 cards that I bought for $257, but he paid 147 for one uh, card out of it. So I've been talking to this guy, you know, I'm like, he's like, well, there's a hang up with my bank, you know, it's like the deposit's not going through, and he's like, I'm sorry for not paying you and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get a little nervous because like maybe he's having second thoughts about paying $147 for one card. Maybe he's trying to weasel out of the deal, but he paid me. I'll make the long story short because it's not that interesting of a story. But he paid me, and I actually calculated the fees involved. And that 147, it gets chopped down to uh, uh, I think 128. So you lose $19. I know, like he paid 147. The amount that I got put in PayPal was 131. Um, so another $4 for shipping. That's 147. Yeah, so you lose $20 off of what he actually paid for it. But you know, still pretty good and reassuring to have that in the bank because I'm gonna start out the month in debt. I got to pay my brother some money. Uh, but yeah, the other guy that, excuse me, sleep is good for talking. The other guy that stole my, I'm not exactly sure how he managed to steal those cards off me, but he left me positive feedback, which gives me carte blanche to say whatever I want to him. So I wrote him a message, and you have to be very careful about what you say in eBay messages because they monitor all of them. So you know, I reamed him out while kissing eBay's ass constantly, but like politely reamed him out. I told him, please do not bid on any more of my auctions because I will just cancel your bid. You know, but I would politely reamed him out and kissed eBay's ass at the same time so he doesn't like report me to eBay for abusive language or whatever. eBay will read it and say like, wow, okay, this guy's polite, and he's thanking the guy for teaching him a valuable lesson about humanity, and he's saying that we're a honorable company, and I use the word egalitarian, and an egalitarian corporation gives an opportunity to all kinds of people, and all is in capital letters, and that means in this racially sensitive times, that's like including everybody. And by all people, in the context of what I wrote, I'm saying even shitty ass bastards like you is what that means. And he can read between the lines, but they won't. But yeah, you gotta watch what you say. I found that out because this guy actually admitted to ripping me off on a $250 guitar, and eBay sided with him because I used the word fuck in the email. Thanks for fucking me over. And they were like, oh, he's using bad language. We'll side with his other guy. The guy in the series of emails admits to me that he falsely advertised the guitar. I don't fight it, man. It's like I got a daily fight with my body. It's like whatever world, whatever eBay, whatever human race, whatever. My cat was meowing at the window when the fat lady was here, and she didn't sing. But I just had her do laundry. I actually needed some laundry done, and I need to like change this. I got an extra mattress cover. You know, it's bed bug proof mattress cover. This thing needs changed, so might that won't get done today probably because I don't have enough room to do it. Because this room's small and cluttered. To flip the mattress up, unzip the cover, you know, it's a big hassle. Um, but yeah, would be nice to lay on a sheet for a change. I was thinking about like getting her to launder this in the next batch or doing it myself, or at least getting a start on cleaning it up a little bit. Um, yeah, I mean, like there's a sweat stain because I've been in a lot of pain lately, so I sweat more when I'm being tortured. Um, so it just, yeah, it needs to go. Anyway, that's what I sent her to do, was to do some laundry. And yeah, and I was like, no chit chat today. I'm like, I'm gonna go back in there and lay down because she wants it. You know, she's used to me again. You know, nice guys finish last. Compassion is weakness, etc., etc. Being a nice guy has kind of put me in the position I am in today. Because if I wasn't a nice guy and if I wasn't honorable, I'd be rich bitches. Like I was, you know what I'm referring to. No need for me to uh, rehash what I said 40 minutes ago. Um, but yeah, I'm usually like, how are you doing? How is your life? Talk to me about yourself, lonely lady. You know, but today it was like, nope, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. Uh, which, by the way, you can write if you want or whatever. That's not what I meant, but yeah, just watch my videos and shut up. But anyways, um, yeah, she was like waiting. It seemed like she was chomping at the bit to tell me about her walking pneumonia or her abusive husband or her thyroid condition or her doctor's appointments or whatever. I understand loneliness fairly well, so you know, maybe that's like maybe I'm the only person during the course of her day that actually asks her about her. Maybe the other people are like, you didn't get me the right laundry soap. Or like, you call this clean? Or like, scrub my counter, bitch. You know, you're not allowed to be abusive to them. So I think it's, when you sign the papers, I think it says something like that. Like, you can't abuse your aides. Uh, your aides can abuse you, though, and they do. she abused me when she just let me fall all over this damn place and was like, he thinks I don't have to do housework. That sounds like I don't have to do housework. I kind of like that. Because, yeah, like I said, that other aid worker was like, man, I don't even know how she does her job, frankly. I mean, I'm a big girl, but she's a big girl. That's what this other one named Justine that I like with the broken foot said about her. She was like, I'm a big girl, but she's a big girl. So I don't even know how she does her job. Anyways, I had back burner or something, but like I said, stove ain't plugged in. So I think I could find the stove, but it's not plugged in. So, you know, so today's kind of like just going to be a lost day. I mean, I don't know what, and I'm not going to get anything done today. It's yeah. By the time I sober up, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm sleepy. I didn't sleep enough last night. So not sleep. I'm trying to sleep regular. That's why I took all those drugs last night. I was thinking like, I have to start sleeping at night, dude, and stop watching the sunrise at some point because, yeah, you got aid workers coming. You got sales and shipments. Actually, was supposed to ship some stuff today, but I didn't. Uh, yeah, you got things that you have to do that require daylight hours. Even feeding the cat, you know, I was late feeding him today, and I gave him an extra treat. I mean, that he really liked sour cream, so I put some sour. He was the only cat out there, so I was like, aha, I can give him some sour cream. So I put a spoonful of sour cream on some hard food, buy some soft food. He was meowing to get inside. It rained and it wasn't cold last night, but it rained hard last night. So, but I'm sure he knows all the good hiding places. Probably the deck out there in the abandoned house next door, underneath the deck. There's probably good hiding places. I've seen him come from underneath there before. But yeah, you hardly ever see a wet cat. I mean, a truly wet cat. You'll see one that's a little bit moist from breaking cover to to you, come to your house. You don't never see like a wet cat. They know what they're doing when it comes to the art of survival. But anyways, he's still not getting in here. Yeah. So, mm, until these drugs get out of my system, it's like not gonna be. I should probably like walk some more today to work my heart, and think about doing that every day. Maybe my leg will get used to the torture, or maybe it'll help my leg in some way. I don't know, because I gotta do something for my heart. I've been thinking too much about like my upcoming physical, and yeah, if I just don't, you know what I mean? I just don't have like what do you call it? What's that thing called? Patience. You know, it's like I'm not real like what do you call it? What's that word called? Political anymore. So I tend to offend people, and like I said, doctors got those egos and stuff. So try to nicely say like, yeah, for us to get along, I'm not gonna be rude, but I'm not gonna do anything that you tell me that I don't want to do. I'm not gonna take any drug that you tell me that I don't want to take, and I'm gonna tell you what I think in polite terms. If you can't handle that, I guess I'll have to find another doctor. If you get pissed off because I don't let you stick a finger up my ass, hey, go stick a finger up somebody else's ass. There's plenty of asses in the world besides mine, so have at it. I mean, I'll, I, if I'm actually running through the scenario in my head, but if it's like, well, that's just the standard part of any physical, and I'm thinking about what I would say to him. I'm like, I do want to say, you gotta be careful about what you say though. But I do want to use the 9 millimeter aspirin line. But I don't understand why anybody can understand the logic of that. Like I have a heart condition. I've been suffering with a pain-generating chronic disease. I can barely walk. Uh, yeah, why in the hell do you think I'm gonna fight cancer? You know, you want me to like, I don't know, strap like 100 pounds on my back and try to climb Mount Everest too? You know, people aren't logical. You know, they're not logical when it comes to death. So, and saying things like that, doctor, go behind your back, call your shrink, shrink calls you, and be like, yeah, I heard that your doctor said something about a 9 millimeter aspirin, and then you have to explain to him, and it's like, don't you motherfuckers get it? You're the ones that are being illogical because you got a healthy body, and you're not all diseased and wrapped up, and you don't live every day in fear of like ending up in the hospital with arrhythmia or having a stroke. And yeah, so don't sit there and tell me this or tell me that. You're not smarter than I am. Not when it comes to abstract reasoning. You're just not. Okay? As far as logic, as far as facing harsh realities, as far as abstract reasoning, I am fucking Godzilla. You are Tokyo. You understand me? You know? But you gotta watch how you talk and what you say and all that crap. Because it's like when I go to the dentist. I'm like, I made this crack to the dentist once. And it's like, well, you look pretty today. You do something with your hair? And she was like, what are you talking about? She's like, I didn't do nothing with my hair, and I just rolled out of bed. And I was like, well, it never hurts to be nice to somebody that's going to stick sharp implements in your mouth in about 5 minutes. I try not to laugh at my own jokes when I'm actually telling them on the spot. But yeah, in retrospect, I don't even remember if she laughed or not. She kind of looks at me puzzled. She wears like weird glasses, like with white, like rim. She's a weird lady. I won't say her name, but I don't know her ethnicity or nationality, but the name is just peculiar. It doesn't seem to match the person. Um, but anyways, yeah, that brings me back to the dentures thing. If I'm ever gonna stop just water them like a plant and actually put them in my mouth, it's like right now I'm just worried about my leg and walking, and thinking about my physical and trying to get along with doctors, which I have a problem with. You I mean, I do get along pretty good with my psychiatric nurse guy, and he's been good for me because, like, he knew about the Ashton method. He got me off the Xanax, and he did do the 5 day thing where he screwed up writing my prescription for like 5 days, and would have left me in cold turkey if I wasn't a seasoned pro, unfortunately, at the benzo game. Um, but yeah, we get along pretty good. He pretty much understands my perspective as well as he can. But other than that, man, I don't get along with doctors too well. I only threatened once, and it was just like non-verbal. But you know, I can do non-verbal threatening really well. So you know, and I've told the story before, but he rubbed the reflex hammer like really hard on my foot to see if my toes would move. And I was like, hey man, that hurts. And he immediately did it again. I said, I made sure I had his eyes. And I said, that hurts. And I just looked at him like I wanted to skip rope with his intestines. And he didn't touch me no more during the rest of the exam. So, I didn't go into De Niro mode and reenact the scene for you, but yeah, I've told that story before. So, um, when you have like a nothing going on type of life like this, it's kind of hard to keep track of what stories you told, what stories you didn't tell, or what's what. It's very hard to be interesting without an interesting life. I mean, I could philosophize. I could actually talk to you about the 1954 movie Gojira, which I wrote about in length. But yeah, how do I know if you're interested in that? You know, in the cultural significance of it, and how Godzilla is a metaphor for this, that, or the other. How actually his scales were patterned after the burns from uh, an incident off the Bikini Atoll, where we were actually nuclear testing in 1954, where the you know that 1954 would be 9 years after we already blew Tokyo up, or we didn't hit Tokyo with it was Hiroshima and Nagasaki. After we dropped the bombs 9 years later, we just kind of forgot to inform them that we were going to do a little testing around there, a little area there in the Bikini Atoll, and there was a fishing boat that had the horribly ironic name of Lucky Dragon, and there was 23 survivors, I think, on the boat, and they were all fucked up from radiation. They had pictures of them, and Godzilla's scales are patterned after the burns on their body. So, yeah. And of course, as you probably know, the word bikini for the swimwear is, because of the nuclear testing that was done on the Bikini atoll, whatever it's called, because it was hot. And what's hotter than a nuclear bomb, right? It's when they come out with the two-piece. I think that's all bikini is, right? A two-piece. I've never tried one on, or a onesie, so I don't really know. I prefer the bikini to the one-piece swimsuit. So it's pretty good invention. As far as like the name's a little tasteless as far as I'm concerned, considering the fact that we burned some people alive around the Bikini Islands. So let's name some swimwear after it. But anyways, in other words, I know a lot of shit. Uh, as far as like random things that may or may not be interesting, but I don't know what interests you. So, that's why I talk about basic human things. I talk about pain, I talk about loneliness, I talk about family, I try to talk about all the things that we all share in one way or another. We all know how hard life is. We all know how incredibly painful the experience of living can be, both emotionally and physically, and we all have problems with some family to some degree. So those are, I try to stick to universal topics, is what I'm saying. I'm not going to go in here and talk about, little niche areas of knowledge that are stored away in my brain for some whatever reason. I was just writing about that movie uh, on here. It's funny how I write on here too, because I just like lean over with one finger and I'll write like long, complicated things with one finger and a thumb. You have to have the thumb to hit the shift button. I don't even hunt and peck. I only have one pecker. I don't have two peckers, so I'm not really hunting and pecking. Yeah. Just sit there with one finger and write out a long thing. It's just to get involved in a thought process. It's just another form of escape. The same as what I'm doing now. You know, living in my head because my body is a war zone, uh, and I'm losing. So, yeah. The thing of it is, I don't mind losing. You know, it's like I'm at peace with it. Uh, the pain, and the suffering, and the boredom, not so much. But as far as like, you know, not, it's a little frustrating being as talented as I am and not being able to express it. And I'm not like uber talented, but I do have some talents. I can play guitar a little bit. You know, I can write fairly well. Uh, I think, and I like to obviously like weaving tapestries with words and trying to come up with a theme or pattern, and that is especially intriguing when you are writing fiction and surprising at times. Sometimes even scary because you might not know what's lurking inside your noggin. Uh, but yeah, that part of it's frustrating. But I've accepted like what life is. I've accepted myself, you know. And I don't like the fact that I hate. I never hated before, like 2017. Never hate. I never knew what hatred was. I knew damn well what it was to be angry, but hatred is a different thing. It's a different animal altogether. You know, hatred keep you up at night. So I don't like that about me, that I harbor that hatred, but I learned how to hate. Uh, took 49 years though. I was like, oh, this is hatred. I did not understand. Okay, now I understand why people kill people. This is something knowledge I could have lived without. You know, I understood why people would beat the shit out of people. Done it, but actually plot murder and stuff. It's like because you got all this hatred in you that you can't get out, and you have to express it in some way or another. So, yeah, I understand that now. I mean, I had a father that would plot revenge. Like he said, and he said it many times, he did not care how long it took to get back at anybody that did something to him. He was going to get back at him. You know, so he was cold blooded, and he was hot blooded and cold blooded. I'm just hot blooded. I will get angry, and I won't sit there and make plots and plans. You know, I will punch you in the face if I get angry. You know, and if I feel like that's an appropriate measure, or I will run you out of here. If you bag is sprayed with poison and you talk shit to me, I will run you out of here. And if you don't get out of my way, I will try to hurt you. That's hot blooded. That's different. That's not hatred. That's a whole other thing. Yeah, I've grown to. I have some like I hate my landlord. You know, I used to just like dismiss him. I do hate him. I don't really wish anything bad to happen to him because you know maybe his wife's a nice person. Maybe his kids, you know, will turn out to be good people. I don't know. So yeah, uh, yeah. I don't like hating my sister, but I hate my sister. I have I guess it would be hatred for my foster brother. Um, do I hate any doctors? No, don't really hate any doctors. I don't even hate the guy that like screwed up my knee. No, no reason for what he did, and how he acted. But I don't hate him. Uh, so yeah, I mean, like my cousin in Florida. the guy who likes to drink, says, "Man, hatred is only hurting you." He was talking about like stuff that he had let go of because his parentage. Yeah, let's say I say about that the better. And he made peace with his father. I didn't. And his father was a, like I said, I can't really, you know, can't say too much about that. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's nothing. I need to call my niece. I guess I haven't spoken to her. She doesn't even know that doctor hurt my leg. I called her after I got home from the doctor all high, but I didn't know that my leg was fucked up. So I haven't talked to her since then. So I should probably call her. See, I was always the caller guy in all my relationships. I was the guy the maintenance guy. You know how you got to maintain friendships and relationships, friends, family, and stuff like that. I'm always the guy like reaching out, calling, and doing this. And so, I got this fellow guitar player guy that is the friend of my foster brother that I would like send him a pack of strings. Like they have what they call them, unwound strings. You know that you got a wound string, you get a scraping sensation. They have like unwound strings, flat wounds. That's what they call them, flat wounds, where you don't get the scraping thing. And I found a good deal on them. I just sent them to them randomly in the mail, and then I like send them emails and stuff like that. And like I noticed that when I would get on the phone with people, like if I didn't have much to say, that they would just sit there and wait for me to talk, or wait for me to be the maestro of the conversation, the conductor. And I'm like, what's up with you? What's up with you? You're not talking. She's like, I'm talking about my older sister now, like a few years ago. She's like, I don't know. Then I figured it out. We talked about it. She goes, yeah, you're pretty much Mr. Conversationalist, so I'm kind of used to you taking the lead. Uh, yeah. Oof, do feel rough. Uh, I don't want to take no pictures and no cards. No how, no way. Don't want to sell cards. Uh, I was having trouble. I was hurting so bad last night after I walked that I was having trouble concentrating on like the football game. I couldn't keep track of what was going on in the football game, and it wasn't because I was super stoned or anything like that. It's football. It's not rocket science. It's not. I'm not looking at a complicated electronic schematic. You know, I'm not studying the works of Plato. I'm watching big guys run into each other. I'm having trouble. Like my mind would be drifting, and I was like, "Wait, they scored a touchdown." Like, what happened? And I was like having trouble concentrating on things, and yeah, not not fun. But I'm trying to look at it through this type of a lens where, like, okay, my knee is really fucked up now, so yeah, I will. Whatever's going to get done about it, something will get done about it. I haven't heard from Omni Orthopedics. This is the part I hate is where you gotta play the nudge, the nudge. You gotta be, not Ted Nugent, but nudge. But you gotta like nudge people all the time. Like when I had to call and say, "Hey man, you didn't call in my prescription, doctor, for the gabapentin." Now I gotta say, "Hey, did you call in my referral to Omni Orthopedics? I haven't heard from them." And the last time when the rapist doctor called in the referral to Omnia Orthopedics, I got a call from him pretty quick. So, yeah, I got to be more diligent about checking my messages as well. Um, they might not want me as a patient. I might be screwed, and I might have to go to the Cleveland Clinic and get treatment for CRPS. And then, like I said, approach it from another angle because my insurance won't cover. That's the last orthopedist that my insurance will cover. So I have to do an end around, try to get help with it. So my prospects are bleak, as we know. Stampy is in fine form today. That's She knows about keeping moving and keeping walking. She said she has fibromyalgia. Her legs are not good looking. I don't mean like not sexy. I mean like they don't look good. They look like not good legs to have. If they were my legs, I, you get it. So yeah, she's good for her, I guess. Stomp the shit out of the place. Whatever. You're moving. Keep moving. I don't know what fibromyalgia is like. I just know that it makes you walk in a really fucked up way. That makes you sound like you weigh 500 pounds. Um, so, yeah. So yeah, I got all this like heavy, heavy stuff facing me. Like I'm trying to keep my mind like focused on like the moment. Trying to stay in the moment. It's kind of tough sometimes when the moment is like screaming agony. So I'm trying not to think about like what if they have to like replace my knee altogether with a plastic knee, like the guy that used to deliver my meals on wheels, and I'm gonna end up walking like that with a knee brace. He said it's still an improvement because he's not in pain all the time, but what is that gonna mean? You know, as far as like the rest of my life, like what kind of functionality will I have? But yeah, I feel like something should have been done already, but I also feel like there's some deformation to that knee where it's like bent, like an ostrich leg, or maybe like a heron. It might already be too late to really do much with it. I mean, but I don't like the whole idea of like knee replacement surgery with CRPS and having to recover from it. I don't, that's what's sad. The saddest thing about my life is not like all these physical maladies and this dismal future and family troubles and all this crap. Is like I actually enjoy life. I'm actually at peace with myself. And like I watch people that are healthy and they're miserable. And it's like I am at peace with myself. I enjoy simple things. I don't get bored easily. I don't need to distract myself from, and like I don't need. I like as far as in a Buddhist way. I don't desire a lot of things. You know, I haven't conquered desire completely. Uh, you know, I still bought way too many football cards because I wanted to. I bought a cup. Let's see if I can remember what's on my mug. I was going to surprise you with it, but I don't know if I'm ever going to get it. But I think what it said is like it says, all you need is love, and then it has a nice little heart inside the O in love, and then it says, but all you want is sex, and there's two little silhouettes of stripper girls on the side, and then on the bottom it says, but all you have is porn. So all you need is love, all you want is sex, but all you have is porn. But I don't know what, there's a symbol in the O in the porn, but I could not tell what it is. It was either that or the cotton cup. Now the cotton cup was funny, but I don't know if the joke would get old, and it was too expensive. So I could get the self-deprecating cup that I just described for $15, but this other one was like from Great Britain, And I thought it was creative because the handle is a C, and it just says cock on it. You know, you're supposed to give it to somebody as an insult, but it was just creative and it looked funny, you know, because the handle part was a C, and then it had, you know, it's a white cup, black handle, that's a C, O, C, K, you know. And I'm like, I don't understand the theme, purpose, or, you know, if you want to give that, if it's a gag gift or whatever, but I thought it was cool. But it wasn't $30, not so many cents cool. Um, because it would have to be shipped from Great Britain. So I was like, I'll go with the other cup. Yeah. Uh, like a stark reminder of your life every morning. All you need is love. All you want is sex. All you have is porn. But yeah, I just need a new coffee mug with a handle, so I'm not like burning myself in the morning. So, are you still awake? I wouldn't be. I'd be asleep at this point. Yeah, I don't know. I have to look up that ASMR and see what that stands for. But I've been told I have an ASMR voice, and that maybe the A is for alpha waves. I don't know. I know that alpha waves have a calming effect when you create them in your brain through meditation. So I don't know. My peace be unto thee. You know, yeah, maybe it's just like I'm at peace. I'm talking about horrible, horrible shit. I'm laughing and I'm calm. So maybe that is reassuring to people somehow. I don't know. You know, I did research for a backdrop here. You know, I want a backdrop. You know, I want to. If I'm going to keep doing this crap for Betty, Sharon, Cindy, and an iPod Walkman, I think was the only other name I could think of. And there's I can't remember her name, but she hasn't posted on any of my videos like forever. But I'm gonna keep doing this. I want something for y'all to look at besides this old ratty thing: water, alcohol, gum, aspirin. Yeah, that's pretty good considering I don't have my glasses on and I'm blind as a bat. Um, yeah, I was just gonna get like a poster or something like that, but I'm not sure how big. It might have to be pretty big. I was finding a lot of 2 foot by 3 foot posters. You know, some of them that I liked real well of just like nature scenes, and put something else back there in case anybody actually watches these instead of just listening to them. You know, the lighting will always suck though. You guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Uh, that's probably useful anyways. The poor lighting, but yeah, I can do something about the backdrop. I was told like if you want to build your channel, if you want viewers, I'm already laughing to myself when I'm reading this guy's comment. He's like, "Oh, that's some pretty good content, but if you want to, attract viewers and build your channel, uh, you could consider adding some music or a backdrop." And I was like, "This motherfucker don't know me, because I don't care. Do not care." You know? I thought he would just go to the shirt thing right away. It's like, yeah, you might want to try clothes. I was noticing something like there was a woman on here with a similar with a similar oral condition to mine of toothlessness. And I was like, whoa, that's unattractive. And I'm like, thought to myself, like, oh, you're one to talk. I'm like, I guess I could wear my teeth for these things if people actually look at me. But what the hell would you look at me for? I mean, I do make some interesting faces, I was told. Uh, it's like I had a nephew that said to me once, it's like, you just ran through every facial expression in the human repertoire in like 10 seconds there. Bright Kid. Bright Kid. Yeah, that's the one I played father figure to. I'll never probably ever talk to again. That's how life is, you know. Just people just drift apart. You got nothing anymore. That's kind of how it is between me and my sister. The only thing we have between us is bad feelings and a bad past. So uh, there's nothing there. In the case of my nephew, I didn't go to his wedding, but he didn't have any bad feelings. I don't have any bad feelings toward him. There's just nothing there. It's just too much time apart, and he has his own life, and I have this, whatever this is. And you know, he's got a wife, and I think 4 or 5 children. He has a lot of children for somebody that young. Um, but yeah. See, now he married his first piece of ass, which I thought was a horrible mistake at the time, but it worked out. But occasionally you hit the lottery. But you know, that's the last thing you want to do is get married when you're 20 years old. Oh, I know that this is the one. It's like, you don't know yourself when you're 20 years old, man. Come on. I mean, yeah, come on, man. It's the first time you got laid, and so I mean, they probably, you know, like, strict. His mom was a strict Christian, so he probably waited until they got married. But I'm sure they did something before they got married. You know, I mean, at least that's in times gone by. That's used to be how a lot of marriages happen because we get to do it now because God said so. You know, uh, that's how things used to be. But the truth of the matter is a 20-year-old that knows themselves is as rare as hen's teeth. And yeah, if you just guys think with their dick, it's never turns out well. So yeah, it's really easy to discover. I'm told, you know, since I'm a sweet little virgin, I'm told that the experience of the first time, and like the danger of falling in love, you're really falling in love with the first experience more than the person, is exponential. So yeah, uh, that's what they tell me anyway. But he lucked out. Like I said, they get along. His wife is like crazy smart. She's like I think she's into accounting or something like that, but she's like genius level. And it's like he's probably got to be a humble cat because she makes more money than him, is smarter than him, and he must be cool with that. I don't know him, you know. I don't know him as an adult because I didn't go to his wedding and then barely have spoken to him since. I like ushered him into adulthood by being a father figure to him when he was growing up as a kid, all the way from when he was little until he, you know, got almost as tall as me. So I don't know what he's like now. I got no clue. I've heard bad things from other people about his attitude, that he's arrogant and got an attitude. But who knows if it's true or not? I don't know. I don't know him, so not really sad about not having him. Uh, or like the severance of that relationship. It's like, hey man, I'm happy that you survived your childhood, can drive a car, have a wife, have kids, have sex, have, you know, you're what they call normal, I guess. And anywhere near our immediate family, when if that could happen, it's kind of, yeah, I think I did a good job. So yeah. It's like if I was any part of, you know, you becoming what would be called a normal person, yeah, I feel proud of that. So, uh, so how long have I been talking? I'm not supposed to do that. I forgot. That interrupts the whole idea of listening to somebody drone on endlessly until you go to sleep, or just as a relaxation exercise. I could be on here like breathe, exhale, breathe from the diaphragm. Think of your favorite color, a garden full of flowers that are that color. Think of things, yeah. Sadly, I could go on. It helps when um, the uninhibitedness like helps when you write. It doesn't necessarily mean like when you write a piece of fiction that you'll come up with something that's actually cohesive, but you can come up with some interesting things. Um, yeah, uh, I wrote some like little pieces of things that I was trying to make into a novel that I'm actually quite proud of, but I kind of ran out of steam, and a life-altering event happened in 2003, right around the time of the Iraq War, where I got turned upside down and shook, and like changed everything. So um, yeah, I never finished it. I didn't like where it was going anyway. It was kind of spooking me, you have to let it go where it goes and be what it is. And it was just a little bit too dark for me, for my taste. It was going to be called The Sympathy Queen. I think I had about 100 pages of it done. I don't know. I should break out the manuscript and show it to you some one of these times. Because my handwriting is hilariously horrible. Or show you the manuscript to my completed novel, which is like yay thick. And it's just like undecipherable. Uh, yeah. But yeah, I didn't complete that one because I didn't. I think I ran out of steam. Life got in the way, and I didn't like where it was going. And you have to like take your hands off the reins and let that horse go where it wants to go. And sometimes it wants to go into the swamp, man. Without it wants to drag you into the quicksand. It's like I really don't know if I want to explore these particular dark waters and themes. May not be healthy for me uh, because I've got such a dark past and miserable life. I mean, yeah, it's kind of natural that I'm not going to write. Um, hmm, I can't think of a Chicken Soup for the Soul. I don't know. Never read it. Trying to think of an uplifting novel. Couldn't do it. Um, it would be kind of ridiculous for me to write an uplifting novel. Like it would just come across wrong. So, uh, I miss that. I do miss that. I miss writing. This is a poor substitute. Um, Trying to be creative on the fly with minimal pauses because you can pause and you can think and then you can create and then you can do callbacks and then you can do underlying themes and double meanings and you can layer things. You can do all these cool things that I can't do on the fly uh, when you have time to think. But nobody wants to watch flies fuck and nobody wants to watch somebody write. And when you're talking, nobody likes long pauses. And yeah, I got it. I'm doing it right now. I have a brother that's got a speech impediment, and a lot of times, I'm like, Yeah, that took about 5 minutes. It should have took one. You know, it's like a manner of speaking. Not a lot of stammering. I have my brother-in-law stammers a lot, but there's some stammering, but it's just like a slow, like he makes me sound like an auctioneer. Let's put it that way. It's just a slow way of talking, where he's picking out each word as if he has uh, a headmaster, a cool English headmaster with a stick waiting to whack him to say the wrong word, you know. And it's like, I try to be polite and not cut him off if he's telling me something he's told me before, but god damn it, I'm paying by the minute for this phone call, you know. So I borrowed money off him, so I let him abuse the hell out of my minutes. I gotta spend $15 on unlimited minutes now for this phone because yeah, if somebody's loaning me money, they get to talk. That's why I told him, because the phone cut off. So I called him on the other phone and I was like, "Listen, man, if anybody's loaning me $200, uh, they get to finish their thoughts. So what were you talking about?" Because I called him back, and then we talked for like another hour. I mean, we're talking about like longer than these videos type conversations, mostly about nothing. So he did talk copiously about the car, but we did not talk about the past concerning the car because he has a lot of hatred and resentment built up over that car that is finally gone. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm probably being a poor storyteller, that they came and picked up the car. But yeah, a lot of pain, a lot of drugs. Yeah, they were like bubbas, he called them. They were bubbas, you know, country boys, big old guys. And they didn't use a tow truck, they used a flatbed truck and a winch. And they winched the car. And he said there was a woman with them, two guys. And he said they were nice and friendly and grateful, came on time, took his car away, which I probably didn't even freaking mention before. But yeah, he did talk a lot about that, but we stayed away from the car's past, which involves a lot of resentment and possible hatred for him because, yeah, he could have made a good deal. That car used to run. He could have made a good deal of money off of that car. If not a good, you could even junk a car like that for $200, you know, if you had a title. But he would have had to get a salvage title, and it's a whole big thing. So he did talk about that. He likes to tell the story, like he likes to process things. So like, I'll just shut up and let him talk, and he will tell you a story. And like when he goes fishing, he will tell you the tale of my fishing trip. He won't just say, "Ah, we caught a couple." He'll be like, "Well, I used this bait, and then I saw a frog, and I saw a fish by the frog, so I switched to a frog bait." And I'm like, "It's gonna take about 25 minutes. I hope he caught some." He's a good guy, man. He just, he's just raised in a difficult situation, and like me, he came out a little different. It's interesting how people that are raised in different in the same circumstances can come out so completely different. Like I understand that I had those surgeries and stuff, so I had no choice but to be exposed to the world. I couldn't withdraw like he did from the world. I You can't withdraw from the world if people are poking you in the needles with testicles to see how you're feeling, how your sensation is, because you have a spinal tumor. You know, kind of the opposite. Having your junk hanging out in front of like a room full of 6, 7 people, half of them women, kind at the age of 16, kind of the opposite of withdrawing. Speaking of which, this was kind of funny. As you know, I'm a fat bastard now. I weigh 190 odd pounds, so a lot of my clothes don't fit. These shorts happen to have Velcro and then they have an annoying. Well, I wish I could just show them to you, but that would be rude. Lacing, like with a shoe. I mean, so you have to like lace it up, tie a bow, or you have to trust the Velcro. Well, I almost made the big girl's day today because I said, "Here's my laundry. You know, I'll see you in a little while." I walked in the room and the Velcro gave, and my shorts went right down to the floor. I was like, if that happened 5 minutes earlier, she'd have a story to tell. Might be a short story, but be an interesting one. So, anyways, uh, yeah, that was funny. I was laughing about that. I was like, yeah, I don't even know if it was 5 minutes. It couldn't have been even 5 minutes after she left because I come out of the bedroom and gave her my bag of clothes, said a few words to her, and then I was walking back in the bedroom after the door closed. And I said the door will be open when you get back because I might pass out and go to sleep for all I know. And then I started to walk in the bedroom, and then my shorts, the Velcro gave way. It's like, you fat, because it's like, you too fat. We eat now, you too fat. My shorts are speak pidgin English. So, yeah, it's like yeah, I understand like women's weight fluctuates, so they have to buy, they either have to have like a wardrobe where they have like, well, these are my fat clothes, these are my skinny clothes, these are my intermediate clothes, or I have sisters, so I know these things. Or they have to buy clothes. It's like, you know, because weight goes up and down. Like, my weight never used to do that. So, basically, my weight has just been going up. Uh, the only time it went down is when my doctor decided to give me an involuntary 50% reduction on the benzos. Then my weight went down. I lost, I believe it's 12 pounds in 2 weeks. Um, it's mostly been on the rise. So, you know, it's like I don't want to buy new clothes. Luckily, most of the stuff that I have has elastic waistbands. So, not a problem. The Velcro stuff not working out too well. I got a pair of shorts I have to throw away because yeah, you just can't get in them anymore. But yeah, that was funny about the Velcro thing. Uh, I wonder if she would have shrieked. Ah! I'm sure she wouldn't have shrieked because that's part of her job. Actually, if I wanted to, I could have. My shorts would have fell down. I could have been like, you know what? I've been having trouble getting washed up lately, so while my pants are down, that's just part of their job to wash people up. So I don't want to do that. I'm still like, what do you call it? Or capable of getting aroused. Yeah, I don't know if I'm capable of getting aroused around her, but I don't want her washing any part of me. And yeah, okay. So I've had that experience at least twice that I can think of 3 times that I can think of off the top of my head, where as part of some sort of medical thing, I got an erection at the 4 times. Okay, more coming back to mind. 4 times. The one time was yeah, I've told that story before. That was just silly. But I couldn't help that. I couldn't help. I was like 20, man. I was 20 and my cardio was ridiculous, and I was nothing but muscle. And I'm sure I told the story before. That's where I was getting an ultrasound on the fellas, and the girl, I'll say girl because she was young and she had braces on and curly brown hair, cute as a button. I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me You know, I knew what an ultrasound was. I'm like, you're gonna be performing this? And she says, yeah. You know, I'm like, it's like, well, you know, there's a good chance I'm gonna get an erection with this, right? And she's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. We can still do the tests. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter to you. It's gonna be a little bit inconvenient for me. So yeah, I was standing at attention before I even had my pants off. She was like way cute. So that's the thing where I had the towel draped over it. Was, you know, had a tent thing going on, and then um, I was like acting like my eyes were closed, but I was like watching her through slitted eyes like Smog the Dragon. And she just said, took a peek. I was like, you just made my day, honey. Yeah. But she was like almost couldn't keep from laughing about the whole, not at the sight of my penis, thank God, but she couldn't keep from laughing at the absurdity of the whole situation, and she was all smiling, uh, somewhat giddy. Well, I was, you know, I don't know what her deal was or whatever. I just know that she did not find the whole experience all that offensive, and yeah, um, that was, and you don't forget something like that. That was just funny because I'm obviously virginal or not virginal. I am not like a bashful type of person. So I was just like straight up front with her. I was like, you are gonna give me an ultrasound. In other words, you are gonna rub my balls for like a really long time. Okay, college girl. Yeah, you do understand what's gonna happen, right? It's not gonna be a problem for you, you know, because the other another girl was like super uptight Lutheran. Actually knew her religion. It was a problem for her. So, you know, you're like, doesn't matter to me. She didn't say like happens all the time. You know, she didn't want to brag or anything like that. But she just, yeah, she was just smiling and like trying to fight back, laughing. You know, the sight had to be hilarious. There's this 6'1", good looking dude lying on a table at her mercy with a towel, you know, with the whole tent pole thing going on. It was a ridiculous massage parlor type situation. And then she's got to like, you know, rub stuff on him. So she like says, I'm just going to lift the bottom of the towel up. You know, in other words, I'm just going to leave your dick covered. Leave your, because I have to do the ultrasound on your fellers. So, uh, and she's like, this may be cold. And then I noticed like she did that with a flourish, like she was decorating that cake too with the gel. She was having a good time. Let's just be blunt about this. She was enjoying the fuck out of the whole thing. She thought it was funny, and I mean, when she like sprayed the ultrasound gel, she was like, she was like did it from way up high and like did a flourish and stuff. It was probably the highlight of her fucking day. Yeah, and then um, what did she say? It's too many years have gone by, but she said, uh, yeah, she was like, okay, I'll leave now so you can get dressed. I said, well, that's good because I wouldn't want anything embarrassing to happen to me today. She laughed really freaking hard, you know. And like you are, I didn't, you know, call her on sneaking a peek. You know, at that time, I was probably, let's be blunt here, I was probably sporting about six tops. So, you know, I got bigger somehow as I got older. I was nothing special, in other words. Nothing special. Standard Army issue equipment. Nothing special. So, you know, um, average. You know, so, uh, but I didn't like say, You already saw everything. It's like, because, she didn't know that I was like watching her. Of course, I'm going to look at her. I mean, she's freaking gorgeous and I had a boner. What the hell? I am a human type being. I remember what she looks like, I can tell you that much. As far as I don't remember the face exactly, I remember the braces and especially the hair. Yeah, almost can get the face. You're talking about 30 years. So, yeah. So, anyways, but yeah. See, I ended up telling the story anyway. But um, the little touches in it are funny, like the fact that she did the decorating the cake thing, and it's like I'm like, how long does a fucking ultrasound take? I mean, a woman's belly when they do it when she's preggers is really big. My thing's really small. What are you? Why is this taking so long? And I'm watching her, and she's looking at the machine, and then she's looking at me, but she's mostly looking at the machine, and I'm like, I didn't ask her how long this was gonna take. That seemed like it took forever. I was like, are you trying to make me come? What is going on here? It's like I've never had an ultrasound before. I don't know how long they take. That was literally, I think that was the first one I had. They do an ultrasound when you have heart trouble, and it does take a long time. So she probably just did a normal thing, but I don't know. It just seemed like it took forever. But it might have been just my perception. But enough of that story. I didn't even tell it that well anyway. But yeah, that was funny shit. I was like, I walk there. I mean, let's see, where did I live? Oh, it was probably a 2 mile walk. So I walked there for 2 miles. It was in Timken Mercy Hospital. I remember cutting across Westbrook Park and walking to the hospital. And yeah, I remember walking home like, only you, dude. Uh, yeah, that made my day. She did sneak a peek, so that kind of made me happy. And of all the medical tests I have ever had, that one was the most enjoyable for sure. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't, like I said, man, living in the past, man, living in the past. The present and the future, bleak and boring and aggravating. Yeah, they say youth is wasted on the young, and but with me, it was kind of different because I had to learn how to walk and stuff when I was a teenager. 16, I had to learn how to walk after the tumor. 18, I had to learn how to walk after the spinal reconstruction, which took longer because I had CRPS. So, you know, I was through a whole bunch of crap on that. Then I had that stupid notion, like I said, you don't marry your first piece of ass. It's just a rule, generally speaking, because you're not thinking clearly. You're not. You don't know who you are yet. But I took that too far and was like, okay, I know myself. So if I'm not just going to, for the sake of relief, get involved with get involved with somebody where I could see too far down the road. Like I remember a couple of women, I guess I could call them women. I don't know why girls is such a thing that sticks in guys' heads. But I remember a couple of women where I'm like, okay, could happen, but yeah, not compatible, not going to get along. Why don't we just save each other the aggravation? Or, you have to kind of keep that illusion unless you want to just. I mean, I, 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 I'm drifting into areas beyond my experience here, but you have to understand I have male friends, I have been to bars, and I have interacted with women in various states of inebriation, etc., etc., etc. So you have to kind of keep up the illusion. It's like Norm Macdonald has a bit about, you know, the sober one night stand. Kind when you know what you're doing, you know what it's about. It's just it's kind of seedy. So it's like, like, eh, we got 15 minutes to kill, and she's like, 15 minutes? Seriously? Okay, man. I'm gonna go talk to this guy over here by the jukebox. you know, yeah, he has a funny bit. I'm not gonna try to do it, but he has a funny bit about uh, how one night stands usually aren't a sober experience. And what my point is, what I'm trying to say is like, you have to have at least the illusion of some kind of like maybe future dating, future some kind of future together, or it just becomes like a couple of animals taking care of business. Which I understand, like from talking to younger people, like that is sort of how I think not uncommon in the 70s from what I understand, but it became like even more of a thing. The booty call thing even became more of a thing. Like, yeah, we know what we're here to do. Break out the oils and the condoms and whatever's. So, but from my way of thinking, it's like my life is aggravating enough. I don't want to be bothered with this woman, frankly. I don't want to be bothered with her because it's just going to be an aggravation for both of us. So, you know, there one of us might catch feelings more than the other one. But as far as like personality wise, we're really going to get on each other's nerves, man. Uh, yeah. So sometimes stuff just doesn't happen, and I had like a twisted attitude about it to where like I'm gonna wait until like I find somebody that I can see there's a real possibility that we're gonna get along and it's gonna be lovely, you know. So I was just like, well, when you go through all that stuff in your teen years, when you're supposed to be fucking around, like figuring out the whole sexual thing, and you're busy figuring out how to walk and survive and everything, and then in your 20s, you're kind of like, in my early 20s especially, I was kind of obsessed with the mysteries of life and death because, like, I don't know, went through a lot of like death type stuff when I was younger, and um, and then of course I had like a puritanical upbringing with my mom, like thinking that sex was. We weren't allowed to watch Charlie's Angels and the Love Boat because there's other stories behind that I'd rather not go into, or why she was like that. I can't divulge everything on here, but anyways, um, uh, I just made a weird noise for some reason. I meant to say, like, whatever. Uh, there's also like the chronic disease thing kind of gets in the way, you know, kind of got would get in the way. You'd have to have some kind of like serious connection with somebody. Now that I'm old, it's like I'm cool with it. Like I don't want nobody. Don't you know? Don't feel like I need anybody. It's like it's, yeah. I don't want to be. I don't want the aggravation. Frankly, I'm cool with being alone. And that's I find people aggravating. That's just, even before, you know, I was still finding people aggravating before benzo sensitivity. I just took it well. I was just like, okay, whatever. People would annoy me and say stupid stuff, but it was just like water off a duck's back, you know. Okay, whatever. You know. So there's no crying over unspilled. There's no sense in crying over unspilled milk. I was trying to work something there. You know, but yeah, you have to have a pretty filthy mind to figure it out. So it's not exactly complicated. I'm not saying it's complicated or clever, but it's just kind of gross. All right, so we're probably drifting into the hour and a half mark. Why are you still awake? I mean, I've tried my best. I usually save, the sorted, interesting stuff for later on, in case you're watching this for other reasons than to put you to sleep. So, why are you still here? I mean, you're welcome to be here, but you should be asleep by now. It's very gloomy out, which is probably why the cat wanted to come in. So I think we're going to get some more rain. I should check the weather forecast as far as the cold too. I am considering options as far as putting a house outside for him. It is possible that I could still have my window locked and run an extension cord. Now that he's old, he might actually use it. And set up a house on the porch with a heating pad in it, and like lure him in there somehow. Just so that he's aware of it. Like put a can of tuna fish in there, so he'd have to go inside the house. And they make like I said, they make special really low grade. You can't even. They don't even feel warm. They're maybe like feel like body temperature warm. But apparently they're all animals need or want. They don't want it real hot. They're in a closed-in area. They got the high body heat anyway. So I was thinking like I could set that up on the porch for them. I got the kits back there. It's kind of funny. I was afraid about somebody throwing it away, so I wrote cat house on it. You like that's funny, cat house. It's my little tiny whorehouse on the porch. So I could set something like that up for him. I noticed like sometimes he likes to bask in the heat. Maybe he's got old achy bones. I don't know, but I'm really enjoying him not being here. Speaking of liking to be alone, I'm really enjoying him. Like my brother was like, I just wish I had some when I came down from upstairs. I had something there to greet me. And I was like, pick me. And he was like, nope, not you. I wasn't talking about you. You know, I was talking about yeah, an aminal. So I guess he's gonna get a dog. He was talking about getting a cat, but I don't love it. Waking up in the morning not having to worry about a cat, not smelling cat feces, not having to mess with his litter box, not having to deal with him. Loving it. I mean, like I said, put two different kinds of food out there for him. He was all by himself. I even took time out of my busy schedule to get some sour cream and slap it on the food dish. And he went right for the soft food first. So he was very hungry, but he was like, "What's this?" And then got the sour cream because he really likes sour cream. I think he might prefer, um, what do you call it, whipping cream, but which I prefer to, I like whipping cream a lot. I can drink it right out of the carton. But they give me the sour cream stuff for free as part of my meals thing, which I've been doing a pretty good job stretching my food because I just don't eat a lot. I don't know why I weigh. I know I weigh 191 pounds. I don't move a lot either, but I don't eat a lot, so um, not going to be a problem stretching the food this week. Oh yeah, I got like more food uploaded on. I don't know how long they're going to keep giving maxing out my food stamp card. I haven't profited from it at all. I wrote down all the purchases on my card. Like, I don't know, they're way over $1,000 now. I don't know. I haven't they're just written down and the dates are written down. I haven't added them up, but the person that's got the card hasn't. I made. I haven't made any money. In other words, off of it. So, you know, it was kind of funny. I was giving them food the other day when they were here, and I showed her I was showing her where I had marked off some money that she gave me off of the debt because there's like two columns on the refrigerator, one column for straight up cash and one column for the food purchases. And she was looking at it. She was like, "Do you want your food card back?" And I'm like, in the process of giving her food, I'm like, "Why? So I can buy more food to give to you?" Because I was like, I'm this stuff's expiring anyway. It's like, here's some juice, man. Try this awesome cranberry strawberry juice. I don't know why it's good, but it's very good. Try this. Try this. Here's some Granny Smith. I don't eat pickles. Here's some pickles. Here's this. Here's that. She's like I said, you want your card back? I'm like, why? So I can buy more food to give to you. It's like, the whole point of that is like you buy food or you take people shopping and they can buy food off of a card and you get money for the food. And then if it's off to somebody else or if it's your money, and then I get money. So for the I get money part's kind of left out of the equation, if you understand me. Uh, and I had to scramble and sell some cards maybe and lose some money on these cards, which by losing money I mean losing potential money. So far, I haven't lost any money on any cards as far as what I've sold. I just sold something recently where I broke even. I might have lost money on it actually because of the shipping. I ended up losing money because the post office minimum $3.99 for this little. It's not there no more. This little tiny square mailer that weighs nothing. Literally weighs like um, 0.60 ounces because it's got a card in it. But it's I of course did research and talked to the people at the post office, and they explained to me slot size. It's like if it's in a letter and you can fit it through a slot, and they actually have a slot in the post office. Uh, I'm not talking about like a mail slot in the door. I'm just talking about the slot that they have. It's like it'll fit through this. It's like you can actually just put a stamp on it and send it for the price of a first class postage stamp. Um, but if it's in a mailer, $3.90. So that's why a lot of people ship cards in envelopes. Because I mean, if it's heavy and it's an envelope, it's going to cost you a little bit. But if it's a single card, you can ship it for whatever a stamp costs nowadays. Probably 55 cents, 51 cents. I don't even know. I just buy a bunch of them at once. So yeah, I don't even know. Anyways, I don't really. Yeah, I think this is my usual um, length of video. Shouldn't use the word length too often, considering what I've been talking about, or what I was talking about there for a while. I'm still very, very not hateful, but crestfallen, disappointed, sad, uh, resentful. Yeah, that's the word, resentful. I'm still resentful over my lost. Um, hmm, my shrinkage issue with age and I don't know if it's age, inactivity, lack of testosterone, or what, but I'm very resentful over that because I don't care if I don't get to use it. That's a big deal to a guy. You wake up one day and you realize that a certain part of your body is significantly smaller than it used to be, it makes you unhappy. I don't know if women can relate to that or not in any way, shape, or form. Like, if you wake up, I don't know. I have, like I said, I got four sisters. I grew up with four sisters. They're always looking at themselves in the mirror, and I know my one sister was very vain, and she was very bummed out the day that she found out she had crow's feet. Or maybe it's a correlative would be like finding out you have your first gray hairs or whatever. But yeah, finding out Mr. Happy is not quite as happy as he used to be. One day, you know, it was a little worse than when I found out that I was losing my hair, which I did not like that at all. When I was like I didn't know I was losing my hair, and my cousin laughed at me because he was already well on his way to being bald as an eagle, and he was like, "You didn't know?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why didn't you tell me, you bastard?" And he's like, "I thought you knew." And he goes like, "I'm like, I didn't know. I just I don't spend all day looking in the damn mirror, you know. It's like it looks good from where I was looking. I wasn't like taking a double mirror thing and looking at the top of my head. You know, I wasn't noticing like hair in the bottom of the shower. I'm not even sure I had a shower then. I'm trying to think where I was living. Probably, but in the bathtub. I probably like had a bathtub, but I didn't notice any hair in the bathtub either. I didn't notice any hair in my comb or brush. My hair just kind of snuck away in the night like a thief, stealing my pride. Now my penis, he probably hopped away. I don't know, but it's like that wasn't fun. That's not fun. Uh, but at the same time, I can take that with a certain amount of equanimity because, yeah, when your leg is on fire and you can't walk and you're facing possible knee replacement surgery and you have a million other things going on, it's just one more thing. But man, that is not something you want to notice as a guy. Not something you ever want to notice. Yeah. Oh, 6 times. I guess that happened to me a lot. I just thought of a sixth time where I had inappropriate erection, and they called in a relief pitcher too, because and she was laughing about it because she was like, "Well, am I sufficiently old and ugly that you're not going to have a problem?" Because I had like a home nurse coming, and she had to do something or another, and I'm like, I really, yeah, I think she was teaching me how to self cath or something. I mean, this is a long time ago. Now I remember what she looked like. She was tan and had black hair, really dark thing, and it was a weird haircut though, man. It was like it was more like a guy's haircut gone out of control, like from the '70s. It's just a weird haircut, weird hairstyle. But yeah, she was really good looking. I'm like, man. I told her, look, I really don't want to do that. And she's like, why? And I was like upfront about it. And she's like, well, we can get somebody else in here. And it's not a big deal just for one day to, you know, she, I'm not sure who she was affiliated or whatever, but then they brought in a relief uh, nurse, a relief pitcher. And she was like, well, am I old and ugly enough for you? And I laughed. I didn't have a problem. But yeah, that was one other time. But that doesn't really count, does it? Because I averted the situation. But no, I am not, you know, it's not cool with that whole thing. Before I think of any other times, I'm sure there's probably like a dozen where I better go. I just thought of another experience that was weird and also like inappropriate. Like, yeah, you're crossing some boundaries here, honey. Okay, okay, now I have to tell this one too. Jesus, man. So I'm young, and I just found out I got the CRPS thing going on and stuff. And let's see if I can, how well I can remember this. The individual that was, I guess, the nurse that it before the black-haired nurse. I don't know. I don't remember. But she was uh, not much older than me, and yeah, I remember I was messing with a fishing reel, and she's like, "You seem to be pretty fascinated with this fishing reel," and I'm like, "Yeah, I found it in a pawn shop." I remember something like that, and then she said, "Well, you know, I have to like examine you." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So she's examining me and stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, I got this like sensitivity on my stomach." And she said, "Well, we can work on that." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Well, we can start like with like putting different surfaces on your skin and try to get you used to things." And I'm like what? She's like, "Oh, you know, like a feather." I'm like, "You're talking about like rubbing my stomach with a feather while I'm in shorts?" She's looking at me a certain way, and it's like, I think this is some kind of weird con job. And it's like, then she brought a friend, and she asked me if I wanted to go see the fireworks with them. And I'm like, I don't know. I said no. You know, it's like I'm not interested in you sexually, and or your friend, or the two of you together. I'm like, we should talk about like rubbing my stomach with various things. We can start out with a feather. I mean, I've had, nobody in the medical profession have ever mentioned some sort of desen, a way to get my body used to sensations by tickling me with feathers and things. I mean, I've heard, like, I've actually probably think I've seen where they have those sort of things in sex shops and stuff. It's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but this is getting weird. And yeah, yeah, please don't molest me. I don't know what the hell's going on here. But yeah, I was like, I should have pursued it and said like, well, you know, what happens if the feather works? You know, what are we doing then? Well, that's when I break out the hot oils. You know, I'll probably, you know, try hands or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could be making something out of the whole feather thing. That could be a thing. I've never heard of it, never encountered it before in my whole CRPS career. So, but the thing about bringing a friend to an appointment and then around the 4th of July, and then there was a park where they had you could go to see the fireworks, like right by there, and asking me if I wanted to come with her and her friend and watch the fireworks. Yeah, my instincts were telling me there was something weird going on there. And looking at her face, the way she was looking at me, I felt dirty. Like, I am not a sex object. Don't treat me that way. I am a human being with feelings and sensitivities. Now, that other black haired chick with the black haired girl, just saying, you know, or that other one with the braces and the curly brown hair, she didn't ask, no, they didn't ask me to go see no fireworks. Anyways, that's enough sad semi sex talk. It's just like weird experiences. It's like it gets to the point where you have all these weird things happen, like so many weird things. It's like they all get lost, they all get mixed up, and it's like you're not surprised by them anymore. It's like it's just too much. Too much, too young, too much weirdness, too too much strangeness growing up in a loony bin, and then like having a loony disease, meeting loony people want to rub your belly with a feather, and yeah, too many experiences involving tender parts and medical people, and uh, I didn't even bring up the thing where I was having a thermography and I had to stand naked in the dark, and it wasn't really dark, but they like dimmed the lights for my modesty, you know. And I was like, there's a woman like right over there, gorgeous, red-haired woman, and I'm sitting there naked, high off my ass, like pumped up, full of lidocaine and novocaine, right in the sweet spots, and like she was doing a thermography thing. She's like me like 8. Like I said, man, I could probably just keep going. And once you have all this weird shit happen to you, like, what the hell am I doing here? I'm high as shit, naked, and there's a woman over there on a computer looking at my body thermographically. And damn, do she look good. I like redheads too. Black hair, red hair. Don't like blondes particularly. And there's always exceptions to any rules, but you know, dark black hair, man. Redheads are interesting, but really, there's like people that transcend all that, and then like that's just the superficial stuff. Usually, once you get to know people, they either annoy the shit out of you or they don't, or they get uglier or prettier. So like, yeah, you're really pretty, and then you talk to them, and it's like, yeah, you weren't as pretty as you were like a half hour ago. 'Cause like I said, I've been in bars, talked to women, talked to people. You know, I am a hermit now. I mean, not wasn't always a hermit, and you do not get this good at the gift of gab without a little experience and practice. So, um, yeah, it's just something that I find interesting. It's uh, like I said, like that one Kristen Blankenship woman was so good looking that I sat there and listened to her talk for 10 minutes and realized I have no idea what you're talking about, and you don't seem to be making any sense at all. I'm not sure why. It took me 10 minutes to even like get over the fact. It's like, can you like turn that shit down? You know, dim that switch, bitch. Like you are way, way too good looking. Stop it. You know, like it's just crazy. You know, you get them people that not only are they like good looking, but they got that like vibrant, healthy glow to them. Like I saw her just once, never said a word to her, and she was from India, and she had like the thing on her forehead, but I mean like luminous, growing, glowing being, and she smiled at me, and I was like, holy crap! You know, it's like, are you magical? Like you know, you get those people that like glow with life and vitality and energy and all that. It's like you're so good looking, you're just making me angry. Stop it. Yeah, you are creating a false image of the reality of human relationships and life in general. Okay. I am not watching a TV show right now. The reality is that you are a human being and that you're probably very annoying. And yeah, stop it with the good looking stuff already. Stop it. Uh, yeah. But I actually remember that Indian young woman that was sitting on the bus, and I was like stunned. And then I remembered that woman's name from like 20 years ago, because I was like blinking like I was under a spell. Like, what the hell? Like, what is she talking about? I don't even fucking know. And it's like that happens sometimes. Yeah. Um, I don't know, man. Life is funny, man, and penises are funny, and the whole sex thing is ridiculous if you think about it. You know, I mean, if you think about I'm talking about like the sex thing as far as like our expectations and the interaction to process. I mean, all of it's like ridiculous. If you look at it like from an outsider, and I'm definitely an outsider's perspective, it's like it's just, it all seems rather silly. Now, what is appealing about relationships, sex, besides the fact, of course, that it feels good, fulfilling, and all that? So I've heard. You know, everybody's familiar with sexual pleasure and knows that stuff feels good. But I mean, the bonding process and having someone you can count on and having somebody you can trust. That's always going to have a great amount of appeal. You know, and that's never going to change because existence is lonely, existence is painful, existence is difficult. If you have somebody on your side that you can feel like you can trust 100%, that is always going to be supportive. And basically, as the good book say, the two become one flesh, and you want them to be happy. You want them to succeed. You want them to feel good about themselves. You want them to do well. It's and you're actually a lot of times happier that they're happy. Their happiness is your happiness. In other words, their well-being is your well-being. I get all that. Even you don't have to throw me into a goddamn river to make me understand that water is wet. You know, I mean, I get all that. I understand all that. Uh, it's just, yeah, it's just at some point, it's like, um, I guess it's just from my point of view, like with the pain generating disease, all the baggage that comes with it, all the baggage that comes with my history, and like my own irritability and my own quirks, my own lack of patience. It's like, that's cool. That's cool. I can die alone, and it's cool. I mean, I can die alone, know it's coming, and it's cool. So it's all good. I lived my life. I did the best I could. I was almost always nice to people. A lot of times when they didn't deserve it. I stopped being a bastard, before I turned 20 years old because I was humbled by disease, and I stopped, you know, as a mean kid. I stopped being mean because I was humbled by disease and the experiences of having to learn how to walk and being at the mercy of other people. And, I had the consciousness expanding experience at the age of 20, which some might call enlightenment, where I have a broader perspective, you know, and that makes me feel less alone. I don't have to be with people to be connected with people because I don't really have any choice in the matter in my particular religious philosophy, if you want to call it that. I am connected to you whether I want to be or not, on some very fundamental level, just by the very aspect of each of us being alive. And living on the same planet. So I will close on a very philosophical, esoteric note and stop talking about penises. I still think penises are fucking hilarious. They always will be, you know. But, anyways, so I'm out. Let's see how long I talked for. I'm not supposed to, but I'm allowed to do that. Oh, only 2 hours and 20 minutes, man. Come on, that's not that long. What the hell else could I do today? I'm stoned. I'm just now becoming unstoned. I'm noticing because my leg is screaming at me. I have no energy to do anything. I have no appetite. So what am I gonna do? Waste my time eating and drinking? And I'd much rather do what I was born to do, which is make words and try to string them together in interesting ways and to tell stories. That is what God made me to do. So, you know, uh, the fact that people, I'm an acquired taste, let's say. But the voice thing helps, I'm sure. You know, the material is not always that good, but the voice thing helps, I'm sure. Uh, this is the part where I say goodbye, and I don't know. Like I said, it's there if you want it. It's free. You can watch 2 minutes, or you can watch 2 hours and 21 minutes. Entirely up to you. You can write anything you want to in the comments. You know, just understand that I will defend myself if attacked inappropriately. But I know that the people that hang around this long, they're not here to be nasty to me. Um, I don't know. They're here maybe to uh, kill some time, feel less alone, um, sleep, be relaxed. I don't know. I know what I do it for is because can't do much else, and I just happen to be good at it. Like I said, I'm not always top. I don't always have a lot to work with, but considering what I do have to work with, wait a minute, I do not always have a lot to work with. Okay, wish I hadn't said that. But yeah, I do the best I can, and I didn't realize it's getting to be that late. I should check my mail and see if I got my coffee mug, and I think I'm going to entitle this ridiculous 2 hour and 23-minute video. All you need is love. All you want is sex. All you have is porn. Probably because I put porn in the title, I will get at least 50 views instead of the usual 20. Alright, y'all have a good day. Those of you that are still awake,